This is our fifth lesson from our chapter on statistical distributions. We're looking at the effects that outliers have on a data set. Outliers are scores that are noticeably different from others in the data set. A score that's considered really high or really low for a particular set of data is an outlier. If outliers are present, it is important that we investigate these, and it may sometimes be necessary to exclude outliers when we're performing calculations. We can use these rules to determine whether a score is an outlier. So an outlier is a score that is either less than the lower quartile minus 1.5 times the interquartile range, or greater than the upper quartile plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. Here we're asked to determine which of these temperatures may be outliers. To begin with, we list the scores in order. We locate the median and then the lower and the upper quartile. This allows us to calculate our interquartile range by subtracting our lower quartile 23 from our upper quartile 25, and we get an interquartile range of 2. We then substitute these values into the rules to test which scores are outliers. So the lower quartile is 23, and we subtract 1.5 times the interquartile range, which gives us 3. So our lower limit is 20. Using our rule for our upper limit, we add 3 to the upper quartile 25 to give us 28. Now this tells us that an outlier will either be less than 20 or greater than 28. Therefore, we can see that 30 is an outlier in this set of data. It is possible that outliers may affect some of our measures of location. The mode is not affected at all. The median may be affected, but tends not to vary a great deal. The mean is affected the most because its value depends on every score in a data set. To calculate the mean from this set of data, we need to add all of these scores together and then divide by 12, since there are 12 scores in this set of data. This gives us a mean of 7.83. The median for this set of data is determined by counting to the middle of the scores to determine which of these scores lies in the middle. In this case, we have 2 9s in the centre, so finding the average gives us a median of 9. The mode is found by identifying the tallest column of dots. So here we can see that the mode is 9. To determine the outlier mark, we first of all calculate our lower and upper quartile. We get an IQR of 2. This gives us a lower limit of 4 when we substitute into our rule, and an upper limit of 12. So a score that is an outlier here will be either less than 7 or greater than 9. So here we can see that 1 is an outlier. We now need to calculate the mean when we exclude the outlier. So we simply leave out 1 as a score. Notice that I now have 11 scores, seeing as I'm excluding the number 1. We get a mean of 8.45. Again, the median is found by counting to the middle. This time we get just 1 score in the middle, which is 9. The mode here is still 9. Leaving the outliers out of our calculation has had an effect of increasing the mean. So the mean has increased from 7.83 to 8.45. The median has remained unchanged, as has the mode.